Hello, welcome to Sanem's Historical Revelations. Today I am in Athens and I have a real audience in front of me, my dear viewers online. Hello, welcome. Yes, let's. I hope you can see me live as well. You know, things tend to get complicated, but we like complexities. That's why we are here. You can hear me in space and in person. Please let me know if anything of the sound is disturbing or not audible enough. Merhabalar. Artık pazar sohbeti olmayan pazar sohbetlerime hoş geldiniz. Bugün Atina'dayım. Ve gerçek izleyiciler var şu an karşımda. Size kamerayı çevirip de gösteremiyorum ama burada önceden tanıdığım ve tanımadığım bazı izleyicilere şu anda aynı mekanda olduğumuz halde bir sunum yapıyor olacağım sizinle aynı zamanda. Beni izlediğiniz için çok teşekkür ediyorum ve bulunduğunuz yerlere selam yolluyorum. Şöyle bir durum oluyor genelde. Bu şovu dillere ayırmamakta ısrarcı olduğum için, çünkü aslında benim kendim için yaptığım bir şey bu şovu dillere ayırmamak, gerçek izleyiciyle olduğunda bir sorun olabiliyor. Bunu aslında daha önce de yaşamadım değil. Yani mesela Beyrut'ta bir grup insanı çok trigger etmiştim, Türkçe konuşarak bir barın ortasında. Buradaki izleyicilerimiz o kadar trigger olmazlar çünkü tanışıyoruz. Ama biraz bundan ötürü Türkçe kısmı bugün biraz sınırlı tutacağım. Anlayışınıza sığınıyorum. Teşekkür ediyorum. Hello Maytaro. Hello Metu, hoş geldiniz. Ve Figen Hanım, siz de hoş geldiniz online izleyicilerimden. Şimdi fırsattan istifade. Biraz böyle Socius'la Disocius arasındaki farkı da kullanabileceğim bir ortamdayken biraz şeyden bahsetmek istiyorum. Yani bu gösteriyi yapmaya nasıl bir mantıkla, nasıl başladım? Yani aklımda hep vardı aslında böyle bir yandan bir şeyler anlatayım, diğer taraftan söyleyeyim. Hani çünkü bir şeyler çok ciddi olduğunda ben sıkılıyorum. Ama çok yani sadece sanat ve yaratıcılık olduğunda da şey olmuyor. Hani sanki bir bazı olmuyor gibi olayların. O yüzden bu ikisini bir arada yapabilir miyim diye düşünüyordum. Bu pratiğe başlamadan önce ne yapmak istediğimi tam olarak anlamıyormuşum. Bunu yapmaya başladıktan sonra fark ettim yaptığım şeyin ne olduğunu. O da aslında şuymuş arkadaşlar. Beynin normalde birbirine değmeyen bölgelerini birbirine değdirmekmiş. Çünkü yani bu ne kadar bir bilimsel hurafe ya da bir ön kabul, ne kadar gerçek bilmiyorum ama insanın poiesis ve praksis şeklinde iki tür faaliyeti oluyormuş. En azından birçok filozof ve birçok bilge kişi böyle söylüyorlar. Praksis biraz böyle mantığa dayanan bir şey. Yani bildiğimizi bilebileceğimiz ya da bilmediğimizi bilebileceğimiz şeyler. Ve doğrusunun ve yanlışının belli olduğu şeyler. Yani işte tarihsel bilgi mesela bir praksis. Piyanoyu doğru çalmak bir praksis. Bir yemeği doğru yapmak ya da her gün aynı yemeği yapmak bir praksis. Poiesis ise biraz işleri şansa bırakmak, öngörülebilir olmayan sonuçlara ulaşmaya çalışmak ve doğrunun yanlışın tam olarak belli olmadığı bir alanda salınmak. Biri birinden daha az meşru değil. Ama bu ikisinin ayrı olması bir şekilde beni huzursuz ediyormuş. Yani ediyordu epeydir. Yani meğersem hayatta çok büyük bir rahatsızlığım buymuş ama fark etmiyormuşum. Ben bu formatla biraz bunu aşmaya çalışıyorum. Aslında sizler online'da beni aylardır takip eden izleyicilerim için biraz da yani söylediğimle pratiğim arasındaki farkı değerlendirebileceğiniz bir açıklama oldu bu. Yani varsa eleştirileriniz alırım tabii ki. İstediğiniz zaman bana yazabilirsiniz. Ya da senin beynin iki tarafı birbirine aslında tam da değmiyor gibi Sanem. İstersen onları biraz da şöyle değdir gibisinden şeyler de söyleyebilirsiniz. Lipon, I can of course break my sections and speak a little bit in English. So I always believed that all knowledge is actually accessible to all of us all the time. After I came to Athens for a while, I worked as a fortune teller. It was just the conditions that brought it to me. More than a life decision, more than wanting to achieve my dreams, it was a situation of having marketable skills and marketing those marketable skills. Because I happen to be from Izmir, and if you have talked to people enough here in Greece, if you have talked to enough people and had enough discussions, you will notice that Izmir is a legend, like as a city it's a legend, and the people of Izmir are legendary. The women of Izmir are exceptionally legendary here because they are all known to be sorcerers and witches of some sort. I actually noticed after talking to so many people here and reading their books, I noticed myself that indeed the women of Izmir have something to them. Because actually, like if you're in Turkey and you somehow find yourself in need of getting your fortune read, or if you want to make a spell or cast a spell, under normal conditions you will go to Izmir. Like unless you are Kurdish or from the Pontus region, from the Black Sea region, where you will go is Izmir, because indeed we have the strongest sorcerers there. And this seems to be going back to the times when Izmir was a Turkish, Greek, Jewish, Armenian, Levantine mixed city. And it's just that here in Greece, it is remembered much more clearly than we know it in Turkey today. I think this also owes to the fact that in Greece there is a greater social stigma around fortune telling and sorcery. And this is because of the church, of course, because here there is a strong central organization of religion, which does not exist in Turkey in the same way. And another thing that you will realize if you spend long enough time in Greece is that the church has a claim on fortune-telling practices. So in Turkey, people will just say, if they're against the practice, they will say, it's a sin, but if you're doing it, you just harm yourself. Nobody cares. But in Greece, if you are doing fortune telling as a simple layman or a laywoman, you are actually transgressing into the powers of some other powerful people. That's why it's not like, historically, it has not been very safe and easy for them I mean the simple women to continue their fortune-telling practices in this country. Therefore, there has always been, from what I understood, since the secession of the two countries, there has been a strong stigma in Greece about fortune-telling, and I had the luck, after coming here, to actually work on these practices and work on the meaning of fortune-telling, of dreams, of everything that comes with it. And this is also one of the ways in which I arrived to doing what I'm doing today, because one of the basic tenets of fortune-telling is that you accept that all of the knowledge is out there, it is available, you just have to have the means to read it. And that's what fortune tellers do. often meant that, since in another life I'm a historian and a political scientist, bringing these together meant that all of the historical knowledge is out there, and if we want it, we can find it. Of course, reading helps, but there are methods other than reading that also help. And as with a lot of things, to gain the knowledge that lies out there, you have to open your senses, you have to open your body, you have to open yourself, because human beings, they are divided on this world because they belong to separate bodies. Like, we can only have the perspective of our own eyes, our ears are where they are, our feet move our eyes and our ears, so we are one and we are divided from the rest of the universe. But at the same time, these bodies are prone to the same effects and to the same impacts. We feel the same vibrations, we are susceptible to the same viruses and to the same bacteria, and fire and flood affect us equally. And having said all of these, now it's time to sing you a very nice song that happens to be a song from Istanbul, from Constantinople, as people used to call it. In the past, I would try to connect the songs from their lyrics, like moving from the lyrics, I would try to make them make sense, but music is just not about the lyrics all the time. Most of the time, it is in the frequencies and in the vibrations, and we don't need to have a reason to like a song. So now I'm gonna sing for you a song that I like, and I hope you like it too. Sevgili izleyicilerim, çok fazla İngilizce konuştum, kusura bakmayın, kendimi alamıyorum çünkü şey oluyormuş. Gerçek izleyici her zaman öne geçiyormuş sanal izleyicidense. Bunları öğreneceğiz hepsini. Çok teşekkür ediyorum. And someone has said that my performances is scientific tales. Metu, thank you very much. I really like what you're saying here. And I will transfer this after this song. Now, this very nice song is a love song, as most often, songs are love songs. When I was young, I used to think this is a complot, that all songs are love songs and nobody ever talks about anything else. Now I think it's just because it's easier to write love songs, because the material is more accessible. Anyhow, ena trecha diraki. Ena trecha diraki, ena trecha diraki, ena trecha diraki, orias tuem bodise. Kemia mela hrinula joyamu amanto kleronomise. Kemia mela hrinula joyamu amanto kleronomise. There is also the question of who these songs belong to, One of the things I hope to be able to talk about today is how it is that words divide us, and so often we tend to think that some songs belong to us and some food belongs to others and stuff like that. But it's actually whoever is there, I think, has a right, and whoever wants to sing it owns the song. Τα δίχτυα θα πουλήσω, τα δίχτυα θα πουλήσω, τα δίχτυα θα πουλήσω και τη βαρκούλα μου και όλα στα θα χαρίσω, τζόγια μου, αμάν με λαχρινούλα μου κι όλα θα στα χαρίσω, τζόγια μου, αμάν με λαχρινούλα μου. Θάλασσα μην θυμώνεις, θάλασσα μην θυμώνεις, θάλασσα μην θυμώνεις, μην κάνεις κύματα και στην αυγά τα στέλνω, τζόγια μου, αμάν τα χαιρετίσματα. Στην παγαπώ τα στέλνω, τζόγια μου, αμάν τα χαιρετίσματα. So this is a song about someone who wants to send their regards to their loved one. And it is an Istanbul song. It is actually a very typical Istanbul Greek song. It has this waltz rhythm and these very sweet, cute lyrics about birds singing to love and boats and fishermen, and it gives you this feeling of being in the Bosphorus on an autumn day, all of these songs, and I quite really appreciate them. Bu da İstanbul'dan bir Rum halk şarkısıydı. Sevgiliye selam göndermek isteyen bir Rum halk şarkısı. Hibrit izleyici Emre Yıldız, siz de hoş geldiniz. Foti, hello. Metu, you are welcome. Thank you very much. And time is running and there are a lot of things that I want to tell you today, okay? So basically, there was at this point, in my life there was this point when I noticed that I had to take my dreams seriously. But before I noticed this, I saw some dreams that were very strange, very difficult to explain, and as a good, enlightened, modern subject, instead of turning to fortune telling and to, tradition and to stuff like that, I went to Freud and Lacan and Jung and various theorists of psychoanalysis to tell me what dreams meant. Most of the time they failed, and not only did they fail, they also made me scared of looking into what I was seeing. Only many years later, when I finally accepted that dreams are actually another way of processing the material that we already know, the reality that we have already perceived around us, life became a lot easier And I can happily say that I started making better decisions. Because dreams do not really have this difference between logic and heart, you know. They will just tell you what might happen. Also, we need to keep in mind that human beings live on time, but actually, for other beings, time is more reachable. Like as human beings, we can move in 3 dimensions, like we can go right and left, and like this, and like this. We cannot move in time, but for sure there are other beings that can move in time. We can bend time sometimes, as you may also have been able to. But dreams are our tools for bending time, because often they will tell us about the past and they will tell us about the future. Because many times the future is already visible from where we stand today. Because there is nothing else, there is nothing that exists other than what exists today. And whatever happens in the future will be a consequence and an unfolding of what is happening today. And in dreams, you can actually have this at work. So, but what reality, you know? For dreams to be able to work, you need to be exposed to different parts of reality as well. So I remembered this one dream that I had when I was 12 or 13 years old. And that actually kind of relates to why I'm here today, I think. It's a very long story why I'm here today, but the dream is just one part of that story. So I was born in Izmir, okay, as many of you know, and I was raised there. But we are not from Izmir, so we were migrants in Izmir. And just like many other people living in Turkey notice at some point in their lives, I was noticing an absence around me. So I was noticing that some things were just not there. I was too young to know what was not there, and also knowledge was not so readily available in Turkey in those times, because this was like in the early 2000s, when a critical approach to the nationalist history of Turkey was just becoming available. So we simply did not have the material available to us. Then I read a book by Dido Sotiriou that's called Matomena Homata in Greek, and it's called Benden Selam Söyle Anadolu'ya in Turkish. And this book made a great impact on me, because for the first time, yes, I had been hearing about the histories of ethnic cleansing and genocide, but it was always from a perspective of who has the right, you know, because oftentimes when the word genocide is mentioned, this is to make possible some claims in the present, just like we are pushing for the Israeli actions in Palestine today being recognized as genocide, and this will have to do with the sanctions that can be brought upon them. It was always very clear that the discussion around the word genocide had to do with claims in the present, but I was more interested about what had happened in the past, rather than making things equal and settle down in the present, because there seems to be something unpleasant about that, you know. If you can pay back for a crime that has been committed and make things equal, I never felt like this would do enough for what has happened in the past. I felt like we just needed a different kind of approach, a different kind of recognition. And I found this in Dido Sotiriou. If you haven't read her, I suggest you do. She's a very simple, like popular kind of writer. And what impressed me in her writings was that she would not talk about Turks or Greeks or Muslims or Christians. She would talk about workers, She would talk about business owners, she would talk about trees, and she would talk about fruits on those trees and about vegetables in the gardens that people were working on. She was talking about the agricultural crops and the birds and animals. And she told the story of what had happened in 1922, but she told this from the perspective of people without ethnicities. She never denied that some people were Turks and some were Greeks, some were Muslims and some were Christians, but her focus was constantly on the aspect of care and on the aspect of work. And she never stopped emphasizing that when people went to war with each other, it was children and the elderly that suffered the most, and it was the trees and it was the earth that suffered at least as much as the humans who were doing the fighting, because all of these things needed to be cared for by the people. And the people, the different identities that were living together, had built a system of producing and reproducing everything that lived on the same earth with them, which was interrupted by war. Shortly after reading this amazing work, I had a dream where I was walking in the quay of Izmir, the cordon, as you may know, and you may also remember the tiling of the cordon. You know, there's the black and white, the tiling that goes like this. It is still there. It is close to Pasaport, between Pasaport and Alsancak, if I am not mistaken. I saw myself walking there. I was walking parallel to the sea. It was an afternoon. I was walking alone, and there were different people who were walking in front of me, but they were walking directly into the sea. Strangely, different groups of youth that all seemed very local. You know, that all seemed like the normal youth of Izmir who was living in that city at the time. They just walked in front of me and they jumped into the sea. 2 teenagers, after them 3 boys who seemed to be, we used to call them Apaches back then in Izmir, you know, these ones with the strange hairstyles. And then some girls wearing the headscarf. They just walked right in front of me as if they didn't see me at all. And they jumped into the sea and they disappeared. They never came out. I kept walking and the people jumping into the sea just increased. They, you know, kept coming and coming. And they just threw themselves into the sea one after the other. I was very troubled and very problematized about what was happening because it was upsetting, you know. These people just jumped into the waters and they disappeared, and all I could see was the last bubbles of air that came out as they disappeared under the water. The water was green and muddy, as it always is in the Gulf of Izmir. As this flow of youth did not stop and as they kept jumping into the sea one after the other, after some point I was like, there's something very wrong with this. And in the worry that I felt at that moment, I looked to my right where the sun was setting, and I saw the setting sun as a huge red circle. And just in that red circle, I saw a ferry coming our way. But for some reason, this was so scary. Like that red circle, which the sun was, and the ferry that was approaching Izmir from the west, from the only point where the Gulf is open to the outer seas actually. It was so scary, and this is the last moment I remember about this dream. Like, I just woke up and I was like, and I couldn't understand why the sun was so red, what was so scary about the fairy that I saw. I could not give any meaning to this. And as I said at the time, I was looking into Freudian and Lacanian things, so, fire means something, fairy might mean something, but in psychoanalytic theory, everything means something about you. Whereas today I believe that this dream was not about me at all. I think this dream came to me at the time because by reading Dido Soteriou, by reading her account as someone who had lived the fire of Izmir as a 13-year-old girl, and myself being a 13-year-old girl, I had just connected to a scene that had taken place a long time before me. And once I came to this conclusion, the dream became understandable and things just became much more meaningful. And since those days, I've been feeling, not since those days actually, but lately, especially lately, I've been feeling that we use words too much, whereas sometimes we just have to remember that we are made of bodies, and bodies can easily stick on each other and they can easily mix. We like to think that we are made of different materials, that, in our example here, that Turks and Greeks are made of different materials, or, Mongolians and the Chinese, or whatever. But it's actually all so penetrable by the others. And I'm sure that the ghosts who were lying there, the ghosts that became visible to me because I read a book, they are not differentiating between contacting someone who is Turkish or someone who is Greek. They will just want to contact whoever is available and whoever can remember and connect to their story. This is how I have come to decide that this dream was about the fire of Izmir. And this is how I'll be talking about dreams of fire today and what fire might mean actually. Because it is this force that mixes everything together. When you reach the ideal temperature, nothing can stay separate from one another. If it is hot enough, or if we are turning around fastly enough, it is sure that we will all get mixed up together. Yeah. I want to continue with a nice Johnny Cash song. I guess you guess which one it is. It's a very fun song, I think. Online izleyicilerim nasılsınız, iyi misiniz? Hello again my online viewers. I feel my attention is divided. It is actually quite challenging. Thank you also for being here with me in space. It is very nice to have you here. And it is very nice to have you online. And we are continuing with today's revelations. a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring, bound by wild desire. I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, down, down, and the flames went higher, and it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire, the ring of fire. The taste of love is sweet when hearts like ours meet. I fell for you like a child. Oh, but the fire went wild. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, down, down, and the flames went higher, and it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire, the ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, down, down, and the flames went higher, and it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire, the ring of fire, the ring of fire. So much about the ring of fire. Just like Johnny Cash has done, many poets and musicians liken love to fire. I think this is because of the unifying nature of fire that I just mentioned. If you get to a high enough temperature, it is sure that nothing will remain separate from one another. Everything will just fuse and unite, right? But it's not just fire, actually. In front of force majeure, like in front of forces that are strong enough, we are all equally lame and powerless. And you might have noticed that we as human beings can come together very well and very seamlessly when we are faced with such dangers. Like we all came together during the pandemic. Do you remember what a nice, beautiful, poetic time it was? We believed in humanity. We were so happy and so proud of each other, for a little while at least. People all had this feeling. And as soon as it was over, war started again, and it was such a changing trend. I'm sure most of us are having cognitive dissonance, or we have had cognitive dissonance, because for 1 year it was like we're all together and super happy, and we are saving each other by doing simple things, and we are clapping health workers, and we care about Iran as much as we care about Italy, and we care about China, and we care about ourselves and stuff. And then a few years later it was like bomb, and bomb more, because part of humanity is not humanity after all. But this is what we need apparently, and this is how nationalism has worked in the past too. If you can convince a group of people that another group is the reason why they cannot be happy enough, or why they cannot have all the joy in the world, all the joy that was meant for them, and if you can convince them that it is indeed those people who are responsible for it, then you will have quite a solid unity. This is why fascists always have easier victories compared to other political groups, because for fascists there is a very clearly defined and definable enemy, whereas other political opinions don't find it that easy. You know, if, let's say, you are a communist and you believe that those who have command of economic tools, the tools of production, the means of production, are the ones to blame, then it's still not easy at all who to blame, you know, because who actually owns the means of production? Like, does a cafe owner own the means of production, or are they the means of production? Or like, does the state own the means of production, or does the state make possible the means of production at all? They don't have an easy time. Anarchists also don't have an easy time. Liberals can become fascists quite easily. When they need an enemy, at times when they don't need an enemy, they are fine. But you know, it's not easy for anyone else. Hi Virgil, thank you for the heart. And I don't know really, because you know, everybody wants unity after all, right? We all want some sort of simplicity. We want something of a meaningful framework through which we can understand ourselves and the world. Somehow to be told that one thing is right and the other is wrong, and some people are enemies and some people are friends. Like, we want these things to be delineated for ourselves. But actually, maybe true peace, true political peace starts when we start to understand that things are never so easily definable, because we ourselves are not so easily definable. Because we do not belong to the identities that we feel that we belong to, because all of these are made up. Logic and words, they are changeable because they are falsifiable. So when I say A, I can also say B. When I say that something is right, I can also say that it is wrong. But absolute meanings come to face us when we are actually faced by the force majeure of this world. Fire is one of them. Flood is another of them. Storms, viruses and bacteria, which I already mentioned, are some of them. And later in life, I have had other dreams, not of fire, but of flood. One of which has it has impressed me a lot. By this time, I knew what dreams could mean, but I could never understand what this meant. Until recently, I started to accept the duality in myself, you know. For a while, I saw myself in dreams in different costumes. Like in some dreams, I would be wearing a soldier's costume. What is a soldier's? A uniform. Stoli. I would be dressed as a soldier and I would be acting as a soldier, but I would know that I'm acting as a soldier because I was dressed as a soldier. And then in other dreams, I would be dressed as a princess. And then it would suddenly make sense to act as a princess because I was dressed as a princess. And oftentimes I could only differentiate between the dreams because I saw myself wearing something or another. And there's a dream that I will tell you about today. But I have written it in Greek. And I think I will leave it that way. Most of you understand Greek anyway. And it feels good to have layers of meaning, also because I understood afterwards that this dream was leading me here. So now I'm going to be talking to you about this dream, του κατακλυσμού, of a flood. Of a flood that happened when I was wearing my soldier's suit. I was in a uniform. Λοιπόν, αφενός, βρισκόμαστε σε ένα μεγάλο χώρο, τεράστιο. Είναι σαν να υπάρχει μόνο ο ουρανός πάνω μας, τόσο μεγάλο. Καλώς ήρθατε. Welcome. I have actual real viewers still coming. This is Athens, man. It's great. Welcome. Λοιπόν, είναι σαν να υπάρχει μόνο ο ουρανός πάνω μας, τόσο μεγάλο. Και εμείς ερχόμαστε από κάπου. Είμαστε 3 άτομα. Δεν ξέρω από πού ερχόμαστε. Αλλά είμαι εγώ και τα 2 παλικάρια, που εγώ είμαι υπεύθυνη για τα παλικάρια. Είναι νεάρα παιδιά από την βαθύτατα χώρα. Είναι 20 χρονών, ενώ εγώ πρέπει να ήμουν 27 περίπου. Είμαι καπετάνισσα. Και τα παιδιά εμένα ακολουθούν. Αυτά τα 2 παλικάρια, τόσο μικρά, έχουν εμένα για υπεύθυνη. Φοράω ασπρόμαυρο κοστούμι υπηρεσίας, στολή, και είμαι εξοπλισμένη, φορτωμένη, δηλαδή κουβαλάω όπλα. Αυτοί φοράνε στολές σαν τις στολές των παλιών φαντάρων. Στολή στρατιώτη, είναι στρατιώτες, είναι φαντάροι. Ο ένας φαίνεται να είναι χωριάτης από τα βουνά, ο άλλος είναι από μια πολύ μικρή πόλη. Δεν είναι ίδιοι, δεν είναι αδέρφια. Δεν ξέρω γιατί είναι μαζί οι 2 και δεν έχω καμία ιδέα γιατί είναι μαζί μου αυτοί οι 2. Πρέπει να έχει τελειώσει ένας πόλεμος. Ή εμείς να φεύγουμε από έναν πόλεμο. Οι φαντάροι είναι τρομαγμένοι όπως και εγώ. Αλλά εγώ δεν το δείχνω, δεν φαίνομαι, επειδή είμαι υπεύθυνη. Και πρέπει να μας βγάλω από εδώ τώρα που γεμίζουν τα νερά. Από πού έρχονται τα νερά δεν έχω καμία ιδέα. Απλά όταν αρχίζουν να κυλάνε γύρω μας, τότε καταλαβαίνω ότι ο χώρος στον οποίο υπάρχουμε δεν είναι ανοιχτός, δεν έχουμε τον ουρανό πάνω μας, έχουμε έναν ταβάνι. Και το ταβάνι έρχεται πιο κοντά, στιγμή ανά στιγμή, ενώ τα νερά κυλάνε προς εμάς και γεμίζουν το χώρο που είμαστε. Στην την αρχή δεν πανικοβάλλομαι, είμαι πολύ ήρεμη γιατί ξέρω ότι θα μας βγάλω όλους από εδώ. Έχω τη δύναμη, ξέρω που είναι η έξοδος, ξέρω που θα πάμε. Αλλά μετά καταλαβαίνω, βλέπω ότι η έξοδος στην οποία θέλω να μας πάω δεν είναι διαθέσιμη για πας, επειδή εγώ δεν έχω τη δύναμη, δεν έχω τόση δύναμη να μας βγάλω όλους τους τρεις μας από εκεί. Συνεχίζουμε. Βρίσκω μια άλλη έξοδο να μας βγάλω όλους τους τρεις μας από εκεί, αλλά πάλι το ίδιο, δεν μπορώ, δεν καταφέρνω, επειδή είμαστε πολύ βαριοί οι τρεις μας. Εγώ δεν έχω τη δύναμη που αρκεί να σώσω 3 άτομα από τον κατακλυσμό που έχει έρθει. Αρχίζω και πανικοβάλλομαι, τρέχω μέσα στον χώρο, τους κρατάω από τα χέρια τους, το ένα με ένα χέρι, το άλλο με άλλο χέρι, αυτοί σαν πρόβατα με ακολουθούν και δεν έχουν και άλλη επιλογή, δεν έχουν άλλο να ακολουθούν. Και έτσι τρέχουμε μέσα στον χώρο, πάμε από έξοδο σε έξοδο. Δεν μπορούμε να βγούμε από καμία. Και στη τελευταία στιγμή μας βλέπω να είμαστε κολλημένοι στο ταβάνι, με λίγο χώρο για να αναπνεούμε, τα νερά όλοι γύρω μας, όλα, και εμείς απλά να κλείσουμε τα μάτια, επειδή ξέρουμε ότι δεν υπάρχει έξοδο, δεν υπάρχει έξοδος για όλους τους τρεις μας. So this was a dream of being lost in the flood. It actually goes on. Life doesn't go on for everyone. Some of us die, some of us keep on living. But we don't have to talk about all of this right now. What is important is that flood takes us all, as well as fire. And as much as we like to claim that we are one thing and we are not another, what is common to all of us is that we are bodies that are susceptible to the same effects and the same impacts. You might have heard, maybe, or maybe you haven't, that a lot of people are expecting the end of the world. Some philosophers have noted that it has become easier to expect the end of the world than to expect the end of capitalism, than to imagine the end of capitalism. But actually we all want the apocalypse somehow. Like, we fantasize about the end of the world because this is tiring, no? Oftentimes, the events that happen one after another and the time that passes by and the injustices that just collect on top of each other are difficult to stomach. And people have this fantasy of a big fire that will come and sweep us all and take us all away, and that will clean the mess. Because we as humans, we create a mess as we go along, as we walk by. So I think all of us secretly somehow want this divine being to come and burn us all so that we will finally be pure. The fire will make us pure. We might actually be getting ourselves there by burning whatever we can find around us. But it is important to remember that when we manage to reach that fire big enough, we will become one, but we will also not have our subjectivities anymore, because we will have lost what separates us. So to conclude on a positive and optimistic note, because it is necessary to create some hope after mentioning disasters and, unpleasant things. I think there is a way to purify and to cleanse ourselves and our society, and we don't need such a huge fire for that. Lately, I have come to the conclusion that it is words that pollute. Because they can be of separate meanings. They can be of opposite meanings, not separate meanings. And so much opposition being available all the time everywhere creates a lot of mental load on all of us and psychological load. Therefore, it is important to go back to the vibrations, I believe, and to the things that connect us without creating a need for words. Music is one of them, dance is another, food is another, and believing in the future is another. This is another thing that we have lost. We have stopped caring about those that have come before us, as well as those that will come after us. So instead of focusing on ourselves and what we have done right or wrong for all this time, maybe it's just important to focus on others, because we will be here and then we will not be here. Just as those before us are not here anymore, and those after us are not here yet. But what doesn't change is that somebody will always be here. And it's nice if things are nice for them, So stepping outside of yourself is the positive note with which I will be trying to conclude today's revelations. Merhaba Yılmaz, hoş geldiniz yayına. Siz de geç geldiniz burada, mekandaki bazı izleyicilerim gibi. Burada gerçek, yani fiziki varlığıyla yanımda olan izleyicilerim olduğu için bugün yayının çoğunluğunu İngilizce yaptım, çünkü onların gitme şansı yok. Onlar burada beni dinlemek zorundalar. Giderlerse çok ayıp olur. Ama siz yayını kapatma şansınız var her zaman. İngilizce dinlemekten sıkılırsınız diyerek bunu yaptım. Umarım kusuruma bakmamışsınızdır şu an hala beni dinlemekte olan online izleyicilerim. Bugün de benimle olduğunuz için teşekkür ederim. Bundan sonra pazartesileri buluşacağız inşallah. Sağlıkla ve mutlulukla ve umutla. So of course, before I close the show, I will sing another song because it's nice. Because by blending historical knowledge with old sayings, songs and culture, I provide a very successful reminder that the past and the present are parts of an inseparable whole. This is exactly what I've been trying to say, and thank you, Metu, for saying it. And as it's fun to do, now I have a song that's coming that really does not relate to the subjects, other than the fact that it talks about fire. It talks about the fire of love and how much it burns and how some people's body movements can create so much impact that the person who is watching them feels that they themselves are burning. Because bodies make this impact. Oftentimes we forget because our culture, until recently, it was very logos-based, so we communicated with words, with meanings, with concepts that could be positive or negative. Recently, though, our culture has become visually oriented. So we will see what else might come about, but until recently, we often forgot the power of bodies, and I think in the near future, we will remember it again. Thank you for watching me and listening to me today, and for being with me. I will be saying goodbye with a Despina Vandi song. Φοράς τα καλά σου και τα μαύρα γυαλιά σου κι έξω τριγυρνάς. Πολύ γοητεία και μεγάλη εμπειρία πάντα κουβαλάς. Κι όταν περπατάς πανικός σκορπάς. Κι όταν περπατάς όλους τους αναστάνεις και ανάβεις φωτιές, ανάβεις κι όλα τα κες. Κι από που πέρασεις κάνεις καταστροφές. Ανάβεις φωτιές, ανάβεις κι όλα τα κες. Και πίσω σου αφήνεις πληγωμένες καρδιές. Ανάβεις φωτιές, ανάβεις κι όλα τα κες. Κι από που πέρασεις κάνεις καταστροφές. Ανάβεις φωτιές, ανάβεις κι όλα τα κες. Και πίσω σ' αφήνεις πληγωμένες καρδιές. There's also a Turkish version to this, but I'm not gonna sing it. Φοράς τα καλά σου και τα κρότα αρώμα σου και κυκλοφορείς με εκείνο το βλέμμα που παγώνει το αίμα πάντα πλοφορείς. Κι όποια και να δεις την πυροβολείς. Κι όποια και να δεις την κάνεις να παραμιλά για σένα. Και ανάβεις φωτιές, ανάβεις κι όλα τα κες. Κι από που περνάνες κάνεις καταστροφές. Ανάβεις φωτιές, ανάβεις κι όλα τα κες. Και πίσω σου αφήνεις πληγωμένες καρδιές. Okay, Türkçe. Aşka yürek gerek anlasana. Her defa yanıyorum ama gitmeliyim. Yaranı sarıp acını dindiremem. Bak bana ben acının ta kendisi. Thank you very much for being with me today. Thank you, Romeo. Thanks a lot for being with me here today, my live audience. Sevgili izleyicilerim, çok teşekkür ediyorum benimle olduğunuz için. Σας ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ που ήρθατε εδώ για να με ακούσετε σήμερα. Ήταν ένα recap, ένα γύρισμα στον χώρο που έχω αρχίσει να κάνω αυτό το format. Ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ την Νατά που τρέχει τον χώρο, το Διζέζα, για όλο το κόπο που βάζει μέσα στο project και τον χώρο που μας αφήνει σε εμάς. Great thanks to Nata from Dizeza, who is opening the space and who has given, I guess, many people like me the chance to just start new things without being scared of how they will be welcomed, because they are welcomed. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being with me here today. Thank you very much, my live audience, for being with me today. This was Sanem's Historical Revelations, and I tried to talk to you about Dreams of Fire. Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye.